Welcome, everybody. How's everybody doing? We're back. It's been some time, but we're back. Feel free to say hello in the chat. Let us know who's here. And if it's your first time with me, you might not know that my name is Jackie Mancuso. I have no idea how to define myself right now, so that's my name. And if you want to see what I do, hang out. Let's see who's here so far. Christine says, welcome back, Jackie. Did you know that I was wearing an eagle sweatshirt, or did you already put that eagle emoji in there? Andrea, hello from Sweden. Welcome. Carrie says, welcome back. Thank you, thank you. Hi, Becky. Welcome, Lisa. Andrea, welcome back. I need a reading, please. So I guess, yeah, I don't know how to define myself, but I can define my work. What we're gonna do here today, first I'm gonna chat for a little bit of time because I've been off of Insight Timer for 2 months, and then we're gonna pull a group oracle reading. So that's how I've been doing it here on Insight Timer, and people seem to love it. So the messages will resonate with everybody here. I don't do the individuals, but you will get something out of hanging out if you want to hang out with us for probably an hour. Patricia, hi Jackie, missed you. So happy to see you and all here. Yeah, it's really nice to be back. To be back. You guys have been on my mind so much. Jennifer, good morning. That's right, Christine. Yes, your Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl yesterday. You know, I was at someone's house to watch the Super Bowl, and I couldn't tell you anything that happened, except that, like, bogus halftime show. It was, I don't know. Anyway. Josette, love the words behind you. Thank you. These are my money words. Energy, exciting, simple, flow, playful is all blocked by the sun. Interesting. Those are words that I associate with money. Hi, Becca. Hi, Jen. Hi, Mimi. Cool. How do I start? So the last time I was on Insight Timer was December 16th. So almost 2 months ago. And that day we were talking about the winter solstice. And I was planning to go to Sedona at that time. And I'm saying a lot of and it's been a really long time since I've been live. It's different. So I was planning to go to Sedona, and I remember I talked to you guys about the winter solstice, and I'm like, hey, we're going into this season of rest. Everyone should rest, right? And I allowed myself to take my little fun trip to go buy my flute. That's what's sitting on the counter right here. I bought a Native American flute. And then I just kind of was overcome with this knowing that I've been doing a lot of things for the wrong reasons. I've started a lot of things in my life for reasons that served me when I started them, but then I changed and I evolved, and I was realizing maybe I don't need to do this Insight Timer thing 3 times a week if it really is draining me as much as it's draining me. But it's bringing me joy, but it's draining, but I don't know what to do. So I allowed myself to just not promise to be anywhere, for Insight Timer at least. I allowed myself to close down my Patreon group, which, wow, that was close to 2 years running. The first year of Patreon, I did Zodiac Sun Sign group coaching, essentially is what I was leading, was an educational group coaching. And then we did a lunar cycle for the second year, and I just felt myself like doing it out of duty and obligation, and I wasn't like excited to prepare the material for it. I was doing it because I agreed to do it, you know? So I allowed myself to step away from that. I allowed myself to step away from a lot of the things that I thought I was supposed to be doing to make it in the spiritual community. And I allowed myself to rest. I got sick over these last 2 months. It was just, you know, like a regular cold, flu, whatever happens at this time of year. And I was sick for maybe a week, and then I got better. And then I allowed myself the permission to actually get sick. And I allowed myself to sit on the couch for 2 full days being waited on. And that was like the greatest sickness I've ever felt. I just gave into it. Okay, body, you want me to rest? Fine, I'll rest. And it was much different than the general message of this like hustle culture. Oh, you don't have time to be sick. You got to take care of this. You got to go to work. You got to have this appointment. It was really nice to just slow down and put myself and my body's needs before anything else. And then I was easily getting back into the swing of things. I just finished yesterday. I was in this 40-day ritual. So every day from January 1st until yesterday, I did a ritual with Mami Onami. I talk about her all the time. And it was to clear money blocks and also create a plan for your spiritual business moving forward. So that was interesting to give up so many things that I was doing and then at the same time dedicate myself to showing up for 40 straight days. But I learned a lot through that whole session. It's really interesting to learn how other people view life and how other people view things and all of this. But I guess I didn't prepare anything for this. I'm just kind of riffing at this point. What did I learn over the last 2 months? Oh, I guess I didn't share the greatest part of all of it. So as I was allowing myself to step away from the things that weren't actually exciting me, the things that I was doing out of obligation, the more I actually how do I want to say this word? I disciplined myself to let go of things that weren't serving me. And that was a weird paradigm. But the more I did that, the more I stepped away from trying, the more offers to collaborate with people started finding me. The more opportunities for me to reach my desires found me. I don't want to say too much, but I do have an agreement that's being worked out with a business in regards to my RV. That kind of came out of nowhere. I was hustling, right guys? I'm hustling. I gotta work. I gotta earn all this money. I gotta save up so I can buy my RV outright. But when I let go of that, something unexpected came through. I'm working on releasing Astrology 101 out to the public, out off of Insight Timer. And I was working really hard to do that, working. And then I kind of let myself, okay, it'll happen when it happens. And then an offer came through for someone to pay me to work on a course with them, to have more courses to release to you guys. So it's been this dichotomy of I'm gonna work less, but I'm achieving more. And it's one of those things that I've known for a long time, and it's just fun to experience it. So let's see what else you guys are talking about. Carrie says that you are Jackie Mother Effin Mancuso. That is me. That is who I am, and I'm trying to figure out what that means. Hello, Lisa. She says we missed you. Cat with the hugs. Thank you. Jackie says great to see you again, and Jackie, greetings to you as well. We got the triple J here. So I think what I want to do, I actually was looking at this deck, which I don't use very often because it's different than all my other oracle decks. So I have this astrology oracle that I want to use to ask what the main lessons were that we all have learned since being apart for so long. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I know I was here 3 times a week. We all fell into a routine together. So I stepped away and you guys also stepped away from having a routine meeting. So what have we all learned over the last 3 months? And let's see what this astrology oracle brings up. I'm going to pull 1 card from this deck, and then this will trigger our 3-card spread. How do you spell the name of the person who did that course? Which course? Hello, Pam from Portland. Nice to see you. So we're going to use this astrology oracle. Feel free to send your energy into this deck, and we're asking, what is the main lesson that we've all learned over the last 2 months of being apart? Yes, Lisa, it's Mami, M-A-M-I, Mami Onami is the one who did that ritual. It's been super interesting to watch her journey. She is in the process of going through immense expansion, and there is a part there is a part of me, and there might be a part in you too, that is afraid to grow because you feel like you're going to let people down. You're afraid to expand and like get more in your life because you feel like you're going to let down the people who you are supporting now. So it was really interesting to watch Mami Onami's business skyrocket, and see how she handled it and this whole thing. It's been a long emotional 2 months. She's not Japanese. I'm pretty sure her name is Onami and her business is Mami Onami. I'm not too sure. But let's see in this astrology oracle, what is the biggest lesson that we've all taken away from the last 2 months? And this deck is a little bit different. It doesn't give us that like paragraph form of oracle readings like most decks do. This gives us some bullet points on what the certain astrological conjunctions mean. So I'm going with it. I'm flowing with it because this is fun. So the card that came out that we learned over the last 2 months is, oh, actually 2 cards came out. So the first one that I saw was Jupiter, Jupiter, and the card came out reversed. So in this deck, we're going to talk about what it would mean if Jupiter, Jupiter were in conjunct, if they were in opposition, or if they were square. So just so you guys can see the card correctly, I'm going to hold it this way. So this deck gives you a primitive explanation of the harsh Jupiter-Jupiter aspects. That's like using your 1D, 2D self. It gives you the adaptive meaning of it. So this is like you're trying to learn and grow from this harsh aspect. And then it gives you the evolving energy. So this would be like you have mastered this harsh conjunction and you're moving forward. So I'm going to read the 3 different levels and then let us know in the chat which one is resonating with you the most. So over the last 2 months, since the middle of December, do you feel like you've been learning how you overestimate, overdo, and overindulge with poor results? That's the primitive. The adaptive message, have you learned how you use opportunity and grace wisely? What kind of opportunities have you created and how much have you given yourself some grace? Or the evolving, have you been learning that you live out the truth that genuine abundance is always tied to other people's good fortune? I'll read those again and we'll see how this feels. So over the last 2 months, which one resonates with you more? Have you been learning about how you overestimate, overdo, and overindulge with poor results? Have you been either overindulging in things, you know, like escapism tendencies? Have you been overindulging in work? Are you overdoing yourself? Are you overestimating what you can achieve in your to-do list day to day, right? So you can use that. You could overdo it in many different ways of your life. Have you been learning how you use opportunity and grace wisely? Realizing that you maybe don't have to overdo everything and opportunity is still going to come and find you. And then you allow yourself to feel grace, knowing that you don't have to be overworking, overdoing, overindulging, and that's how opportunity finds you? Or have you been learning that you live out the truth that genuine abundance is always tied to other people's good fortune? Have you been learning the lesson that the more other people prosper, that means that the more you prosper? Less about me, 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 more about the all. Other people's good fortune is tied to genuine abundance. So what I'm getting from that Jupiter card over the last 2 months, we've been kind of learning about our limits, how much, because Jupiter is the planet of expansion, right? So Jupiter is what grows things, and Jupiter can overdo it. It's really nice to have expansion in certain things, but there is a limit when you've grown too much. So are you learning where your limits are? Are you learning? Have you learned where your limits are, and now you're learning how it's tied to opportunity by giving yourself grace? And have you connected with how other people's good fortune is a sign of genuine abundance? That is like radicalizing jealousy, by the way. Other people's good fortune, instead of looking at, I mean, I'm guilty of this, looking at all these super uber rich people, and you're like, oh my God, if they would only put their money here and help these kind of people, then the world would be so much better. You know, they made it. It doesn't mean that you can't make it, you know. Let's see what you guys are saying. So, hello, Patty. Nice to see you. Carrie says, yes, overdoing myself. In what way? In what way? Lindsay's loving this. Jen, working on grace for myself and others. I love that. Carrie's learning to slow down and just let go and let the ebb and flow of life. Isn't it interesting how scary that is? Isn't it interesting how uncomfortable it is to just flow? Which, I know today's not an astrology lesson, but North Node in Pisces, guys. I haven't been talking astrology, but if you follow all my socials, I do have regular astrology posts that come out to keep you guys on track. But my goodness, about a month ago, the nodes of the moon shifted. So now we have the North Node in Pisces for 18 months, okay? A year and a half. We are being, our lives will be the most beneficial if we learn how to tune into Pisces energy of surrender, going with the flow, dropping into the collective consciousness, trusting the divine will, trusting the cosmos, just going with the ebb and flow. So good on you for learning how to do that right now. Lindsay agrees, yes, there is enough for everyone. Lisa, a bit of all three, but probably the first one resonates mostly. Love that. Trina's so happy to see you. Hi, Derek. Hi, Andrea. Carrie's taking on too much responsibility and just live each moment as it is. Just freaking surrender and quit trying to control everything. It's fear that makes you want to hang on to that control, because you think if you don't do it the way that you want to do it, it's not going to work out for you. It's really interesting to believe that if you let go, there's something that loves you so much more that's going to bring you what you couldn't have even conceptualized that you desire. I could talk on this for hours. I'm trying to limit myself and trying to watch myself, especially because we all learned so much about Jupiter's expansive energy over the last 2 months. I did tell you that 2 cards came out, and the second card came out upright. It's also, hi Sophia, it's also a Jupiter card. This one is number 46. This is Jupiter and Chiron. So I briefed over the last card how Jupiter is tied to expansion. Jupiter's also tied to like abundance and truth, divine truth, universal truth. Chiron is the wounded healer. So Chiron is an asteroid, if you've never heard of him. He is the key. His glyph quite literally looks like a key, and he is the asteroid in our life that shows us where we think we are just wrong, where we think we're just defective. There's something wrong about me, but then Chiron helps you heal that wound, and that is your key to living. That is your key to what you can offer the world. So over the last 3 months, this is going to be the harmonious aspects between Jupiter and Chiron. So which one resonates with you most? The primitive is posing as a healer or nurturer. You actually are harming people with your inflated ego. This deck's calling us out. The adaptive version, you are blessed with generous healing gifts and offer them with humility. And then the evolving, You are a true avatar of healing and caring modalities, and you teach them freely to anyone in need. So let's go back. Let's go back and review those. Which one resonates with you the most? Primitive. Posing as a healer or nurturer, you actually are harming people with your inflated ego. All right, let me give you the Jackie spin of that, because I can see that, but I also disagree with it. Maybe I'm still harming people with my inflated ego, who fucking knows. Posing as a healer or nurturer. I learned how to do what I'm doing by faking it until I make it. Okay, just being totally honest with you guys. That's how I believe everybody learns everything. Fake it till you make it. There's a reason why you are called to do what you're doing. And if you don't know the specifics, it's because you're meant to mess around and find out. But this part where it says you actually are harming people with your inflated ego, here's where, like, my gosh, I feel my compassion swelling in this moment. I'm really good at making excuses for people, including myself. Oh, so my true belief, I disagree with this book, and I'm just going to talk about it. My true belief is that if you are not intending to do harm, you're fine. Because nothing in this world is good or bad. There is no right or wrong. And in some of the ways that personally I feel like I was harmed by people in the past, I've been given these opportunities lately to step into their shoes. The role, a different role, right? So in the past, I feel like people have harmed me by doing something to me, yet my universal belief is that everything happens for us. Nothing happens to you, everything happens for you. So yes, while there are uncomfortable things that you have to work through, while yes, there are actions that are being done that put you in an uncomfortable position and you got to work through things, it doesn't mean that you've been harmed. I'm still working through my belief on this, but this is saying you are harming people with your inflated ego. Are you harming them, or are you acting in the way that you know how to act, which is attracting the people who need your medicine right now the way that you are? Does that make sense? You guys know I've been through separation, right? I left my husband 6 months ago. And like that whole, here's a mind fuck. Did I harm him by leaving him because of my inflated ego that I have to take care of myself? That's one way to look at it. Or did I go with the natural flow of things and I realized that what we were doing to try to make the relationship flourish was not working anymore? So why don't we just detach and you can figure out your stuff on your own and I can figure out my stuff on my own? What is harm? Wow, I went off on a really big tangent. Because this whole shame thing, there's so much shame in our society. Like, fuck shame, fuck it. No, there's nothing wrong with you unless you're intending to harm someone. That's my true belief. That's what I get along with, and you know what? It makes me more confident to try things. Jeez, let's see what you guys were saying about all that. Andrea says, I'm changing big time, slowing the pace down, injured, whatever, but letting things unfold positively. Normally everything's controlled, but now it's so different. That's awesome. See, everything happens for you. Trina loves the transparency. Carrie, maybe the last one, and because writing my own story, I hope anyway. We'll get through those. I was reviewing them and I got stuck on that primitive one because I don't like that. I don't like the attack on the ego. It does not resonate with me. Your ego is not bad. It's just a part of you. It's just a part of you. Is it an excuse or just a different perspective? Thank you, Trina. I'm also working through a lot of that excuse energy. Long story. Everything happens for a reason, Carrie. Yes. Karma, hello. Where have you been? I talked about it in the beginning of the session. The replay is going to be on my YouTube channel. You guys can just search my name on YouTube and find me there. Trina says it makes sense. It could be a no pain, no gain. It hurts to expand. Yes, and I can talk again for hours of how all the most painful things in my life are truly what I'm most grateful for because they have made me the person that I am today. Well, Lisa, I first thought 1 and 3, then I thought it's up to how others respond to what I put out. That's on them, not me. I put out from compassion. I can't dictate what others decide to get from it. Thank you for saying that, Lisa, because that puts my whole 10-minute spiel into a concise few sentences. That's exactly it. Your job is to check yourself. What am I doing? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Am I doing this in hopes to help people? Because if you're doing the fake it till you make it thing, that can come from an insecurity of, I know I'm meant to heal. It just feels right. It's my calling. It's my passion. I get it, but I don't know how to do it. So that's not an intent to harm. That's you trying to figure out who you are and what your gifts are. Trina, the worst ego day is the best soul day. Yeah. The worst ego chunk of time in your life is the best soul chunk of time in your life. Karma, the worst form of pain is suffering that you can walk away from, but you stay. Yeah, that's a whole, gotta figure out how to open that. So, okay, Jupiter Chiron. First we're asking, how much have you expanded? Too much? Or have you learned how to eloquently expand? Jupiter Chiron. Do you feel like you're faking it till you make it? And are you worried that you're causing harm to others because of what you're doing? Let's phrase it that way. The adaptive. Over the last 2 months, have you learned that you are blessed with generous healing gifts and offer them with humility? This is that like tiptoeing on, detaching from the outcome. You know you have this gift. You know you're a wonderful listener. You're a wonderful teacher. You're a wonderful healer. You're a wonderful, compassionate force for the world. And you offer them with humility. You say, you know what, this is what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but I'm going to do it in the way that works for me. Because you've had to fake it until you make it to learn what actually feels good to you. So you offer it with that slight detachment to the outcome. I know what I'm doing is healing people. I'm just going to do what I know how to do. Or evolving. You are a true avatar of healing and caring modalities. And you teach them freely to anyone in need. I had a brain fart for a second because I just realized I feel like I'm in the middle of those last two because I want to say I teach my healing modalities freely to anyone in need. I'm here free on Insight Timer. I'm here free on YouTube. But there's still that scarcity mindset that like, I want to be valued for what I have to offer. You know, I want to be compensated for what I have to offer. So have you honestly reached the point, specifically over the last 2 months, that's what we're looking for. You're a true avatar of healing and caring modalities, and you teach them freely to anyone in need. Have you gotten to the point of true altruism where you are quite literally expecting nothing in return because you trust that the universe is going to bring it back in a different way? I needed to hear that. Look at the sun. Yeah, I have these you can't see, but I have these window clings that put rainbows on the wall. I love them. So I talked a lot about that first card that turned into 2 cards. So let me just see. I think we might, I wonder if I have like a short deck. Let me talk through this a little bit. Carrie, you are valued. Thank you. Thank you. You guys have helped me learn that a lot. And now it's time for me to surrender to the universe and try to see how else I'm valued by something greater and bigger and more dense than people. No offense to you guys at all, but I'm learning that like I'm loved and supported by the universe, which you are a part of, but you are just a small fragment of this big energy thing that we can all tap into. So over the last 2 months, we learned about our expansion, if we're overdoing it in any way. Are you overdoing the way that you care for people? Have you learned about, yeah, I feel like with Jupiter, double Jupiter and the Jupiter Chiron card, this is talking about abundance and expansion through healing. Chiron's all about healing. So over the last 2 months, I'm way off my game. Can you guys tell? Just kidding. What have you learned about how much effort you want to put into sharing your healing gifts? How much effort you think you need to put in to sharing your healing gifts? Are you overdoing it? Are you running away from it? Are you overdoing in the realm of escaping? Right? Are you in that mode right now? I have this big mission for the world and I don't know how to do it. So I'm just going to get high every day because it's way too overwhelming. Are you in that predicament? Are you in that like, well, I have all this really great work to do and I don't know how to do it. So I'm just going to go meditate for 3 hours a day because that seems like what I need to do right now. Carrie says, because of what you shared in your life, I personally decided that I was trying too hard and just need to surrender and let go. Yeah, we resonate, Carrie, because you're a projector and I'm a manifester and I'm trying to lead the way with figuring out that I don't need to act like a generator. Carrie, who cares if anyone likes me or not? Yes, that's been very freeing for me as well. Sophia, oh yes, very much there. Very much there. The escaping, this is too much to handle and I just don't want to do it. Stephanie just came in. Oh no, help. Oh, where are you? Lara feels very depressed post-election. How can you turn your feelings into healing for society? How can you turn the things that pull on your heartstrings in the world? How can you turn that sadness, depression into healing? Because that's the point. That's why we feel uncomfortable feelings, because we are meant to heal them in ourselves, figure out how we heal from these events, and then we learn, oh shit, I was able to do that for me. Hey everybody, you can all do this too. That's what I believe Chiron is here to teach us. Sophia, just launched my first retreats for this summer and it's overwhelming to put myself out there like this. Still super excited and grateful. That's awesome. Good for you, Sophia. Lyra, I feel like I'm doing too much and not enough. I like that because I was literally just thinking like we could take this reading in 2 opposite ways. Which way do we want to do it? But yeah, I feel like I'm doing too much and not enough. I mean, the Jackie Mancuso answer is, how much are you focusing on yourself? Are you giving yourself the love and attention that you need? The more I feel like I focus on myself, the more everything around me just kind of settles into place. The people around me seem to be more okay the more I focus on myself. Who would have thought, right? Lisa, I realized how much I value you and this group when you weren't here. I went nuts looking for something to fill the hole on Insight Timer. I didn't find it. It was a lesson in how much I look outside myself a lot still, even though I've made lots of progress over the years. Wonderful realization, Lisa. And there was a small part, like I wasn't trying to abandon you guys or leave you guys, but I've noticed that pattern in myself. Especially in like romantic relationships, I get really attached and I get really like, ooh, I can help you. Let me solve all your problems. And then I get to a point where I'm just like overwhelmed. Why can't you do it for yourself? And then my thing is to just disappear. And I don't want to do that. Like that pains me. That hurts me a lot that I've been that way. So I'm very grateful to hear that you said that my absence helped you realize how much you were looking for healing outside of yourself. Because there's nothing wrong with receiving support and help, but I feel like I'm here to teach you guys that you're not meant to rely on anybody else. You can use them when they're available. Ooh, this person's free, cool, what can I get from there? Ooh, this person wants to talk to me now, like what can I grab from over there? Please do that. but the energy of like putting your power in someone else. This is why I teach very strongly too that I am not your guru. I do not want to be your shining light. I don't have all the answers, and I don't want you to think that I have all of your answers. You have all of your answers. That just blah, 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 blah. Stephanie's headed down a path and excited. Now I'm on another path. Feel like I'm always at the planning stage or beginning, and nothing has taken off. Stephanie, do you know your human design? I feel like I'm always at the planning stage or beginning and nothing has taken off. I wouldn't be surprised if you're a manifester. Sophia, oh, for sure, yeah. With your permission, Jackie, someone feels called to learn Thai massage and practice yoga in Mexico and Costa Rica this summer. Write me. I can vouch for Sophia. She's been around for a while. She reminds me a lot of myself, so I like her. Sophia, and then we complain about not wanting to be the mother. Yes, it's a whole thing. But how are we going to take this reading? So we're talking about wisdom from the pause. Over the pause helped us realize if we're doing too much or not enough in regards to how we heal the world. We've been learning, okay, can we all get on that for the last 2 months? We've been learning where we stand in regards to, are we doing too much or are we not doing enough when it comes to sharing how we naturally heal the world? Can I get a thumbs up in the chat if that makes sense? Because if so, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to run with that, and we're going to move on with this oracle reading. I got 1 thumbs up from Sophia. Thank you, lovely. Thank you, lovely. I'm just checking my... I'm simulcasting, guys. I'm turning into this internet smart person. If you guys have been chatting over here, come to Insight Timer. I'm on Insight Timer. Cool. Jen likes it. Carrie likes it. Lyra, another Jen likes it twice. Mimi. Do you have a group here on Insight Timer? I do. I don't do anything with it, so you're more than happy to join it. Just go to my teacher profile and you can see that there. I keep being called to this deck and I don't know what I want to do with it yet, but we're going to use the Birdkin Oracle. I would love to do 3 and I would love to chat. I'm just going to go with it. We're going to pull 3 cards from the Birdkin Oracle and we're going to ask about the wisdom that has come through this wondering, am I doing enough? Am I not doing enough? Am I doing too much? Am I not doing enough? And this is going to come through the lens of how we heal the world. I want to talk once more about this North Node in Pisces because it's going to be present for until summer of 26, next summer. There is this concept of how we are all the ocean. We are all the collective consciousness, right? We are all one. But we also are the drop. There is some separation. And this is, the more I'm able to accept both and in my life, the more things make sense because everything is truth, right? So that's just whatever. So we are the ocean, but we are also the drop. Individually, I am the ocean and I am the Jackie Mancuso drop that is part of the ocean. So when it comes to, are you doing enough to heal the world? Why would it not be that by fully taking care of yourself and giving yourself the full love, care, respect, nurturing that you feel you need, why would that not directly heal the ocean? If you are the drop that is in the ocean, but you also are the ocean, why would you have to focus on all the other drops to heal the ocean? Why are we not so in love with ourselves in a way that we are loving ourselves to become the best version of ourselves? Because by becoming the best version of myself, I am enhancing the ocean because I am both. Does that make sense? Lovely. Christine says, yes, that makes perfect sense. I know, you and I for a long time were working on like you get to take care of yourself. And I'm learning the same thing, and it's great. And that's where I'm coming with the North Node in Pisces, because Pisces is the collective consciousness. Pisces is the ocean. So we're coming from North Node in Aries, where it was all about the drop, all about who are you, your sense of self. Who do you want to be? Who do you identify as? What is your personality? Who do you want to show up in this meat suit? And now we're going into the ocean flowy collective consciousness. So what does the whole want? And I'm not one to like put out fear by saying like, oh, I caution you about this, but I can see how if you haven't learned in Aries time, if you haven't learned over the last 18 months to put yourself first, there could be a possibility that now that we're in the Pisces North Node, you could completely lose yourself, which might be needed for you at this time. It's just, that's what I'm here to share, and that's what I'm going to share. So we're going to use this other oracle deck now, because I should get going with cards. Have we been, what wisdom has come through us trying to figure out if we're doing enough, if we're doing too much, if we haven't done enough as far as sharing our healing with the world? So as a reminder, this is from the Birdkin messages. Feel free to send your energy into the deck that's in my hands. We're gonna pull 3 cards. This is gonna be for everybody. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. I'm gonna let 3 cards fall out of the deck for all of us. And then I'm gonna show you the backs of the cards. So you're gonna see 3 blank red images, because I'm gonna let you play with your intuition. So I'll show you the backs of the 3 cards, and if anything feels different, that could mean that that card holds a stronger message for you than the other 2. If you don't feel anything different between the 3 cards, doesn't mean that your intuition is broken. It just means that the whole reading holds equal importance for you. So for you specifically, over the last 2 months, what wisdom have you gained through this wondering of, am I doing enough? Am I not doing enough? Am I doing too much? Okay, so I'll show you the backs of the 3 cards. Let us know in the chat which cards resonate with you. Try not to think too hard, just go with it. Here's the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. And I'll show them one more time, just in case. Once more, the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Before I even showed the cards, Jackie was using her claircognizance, clear knowing, and a number just showed up in her head. Jackie's working with 2. Good morning, Suzanne. Lisa 2, Christine 3, Nicole 3, Carrie 2, Lyra 1, Suzanne 3 and 2, Mimi 1 and 3, Nicole 2 and 3, Claire 2, Patricia 1. So the first 2 cards in my view came out face up, and I saw what they were. And these are 2 birds that I have been working closely with. And card number 3 for me, I have no idea what it is. 4444 on the timer right there. And I'm purposely leaving card number 3 a mystery, because I feel like that's going to be the next bird for me. So over these last 2 months, what wisdom has come from this wondering if we're doing enough? Card number 1 is the energy from Crow. This is card number 19. And Crow brings the message of travel. There is something that needs to be realized at this time through travel. A new space is needed, either long-term or through a short visit. A visitor can come bearing a direct message or unintentional realization through a comparison of different life stories. A foreign interaction may be the shift of perspective needed. Be receptive to this meeting. The chance for new understanding will be amplified. If card number 1 resonated with you, what kind of trips do you have planned? What kind of trips do you have planned just in your desires, right? Where are you hoping to go that you maybe haven't been planning yet? Or have you been presented with the invitation to host someone who's from a different land? So the wisdom that you have learned through wondering if you're doing enough, if you're not doing enough, the energy is gonna come to you through travel. Whether you are traveling, you are hosting a traveler, or this could even be, like this Crow card really gives me the energy of Sagittarius, where it doesn't have to be physical travel, it could be mental, spiritual, and emotional travel. So this could be an invitation to travel into a new realm of thinking. This could be an invitation, if you were triggered by the last election, to venture in and travel through the real minds of Republicans. Why do they support this guy? Could it possibly be my liberal media's reason why they support this guy? Could it really be that half the country is racist and hates people? Or maybe I can travel into their world, mess around and find out and see what's actually going on over there. This could be the travel into a new religion, a new spiritual practice, a new way of looking at life. Ooh, I was brought up learning that that religion is really full of hate. So I haven't touched that religion because all they do is hate humanity. And do you really think that people are that messed up in this world? It's overwhelming to me. But anyway, this could be an invitation to go read a different spiritual text. Go watch videos that are being consumed by the people who you think are causing you harm. That's what was coming through with all that. Hello, Tolkien. Nice to see you. Stephanie says, Crow 19 both has a special meaning to me. Travel. Yeah, where are you going to travel? Where are you going to travel? Nicole, I have lots of travel planned this year. North and South Carolina, Colorado, and Hawaii. I love travel. I'm getting on my travel buzz. A few years ago, probably about a year and a half ago, is when I started asking the universe for opportunities to travel. Didn't know how I was going to do it. Didn't know when I was going to do it. Of course, I wanted it right then. But now I'm like overwhelmed with the amount of travel that I have available to me. April in other countries, a real eye-opener. I will be doing that for the first time in April. I'm leaving the country for the first time in April. It is something that I've been wanting to do for my whole life, but I was convinced that it's way too expensive. International travel, that's for rich people. And things just kind of lined up and I'm going away. So I'll tell you guys about that later. Jen, my natal moon is in Sagittarius, so I never have enough travel. Yeah, and just keep in mind that like travel doesn't have to be physical. Travel can be educational travel, spiritual travel. Oh, I didn't talk about emotional travel. Maybe the wisdom that you've learned through this wondering, am I doing enough? Why don't you travel through that super uncomfortable emotion of shame? What is shame trying to teach you? Why is shame coming up? Oh, I haven't done enough. I must just be a POS person because I haven't done enough. Okay, that's not a truth. That's an emotion. So let me sit with that emotion. Let me travel with that emotion. Hey, shame, I love you. Where do you want to take me? What do you want to show me? Christine's been traveling a lot. You're away in California right now. I'm almost overwhelmed with the amount of travel. Was card number 1 for you, Christine? Yeah, you're working with 3. Just Maybe don't travel more. Maybe that's why you didn't resonate with card 1. I love it. April, oh, I know I'll have an amazing time. So excited. All right. What else have we learned through, what other wisdom has come through wondering if we're doing enough to heal or not? Card number 2 is my favorite bird right now. It's the starling, and it's number 8. The starling, so I'm gonna riff for a second before I read the card. It came from Insight Timer. When I see this in real life, I think about Insight Timer because there was a day that I was here and I was talking about how I love watching the birds dance. When you have those groups of birds and they just follow the energy lines somehow, and they dance and make this big show in the sky. And it was someone here on Insight Timer who taught me that that's called murmuration. And so like once I learned the word, I was like, oh, I love that. So now every time I look for it, I see, oh, it's murmuration. And I've read that it's the starlings that do that. So that's what I love about the starlings. And then I also saw some videos about starlings like talking. Like they have such a complex vocal thing that they can literally mimic humans talking, and R2-D2. They do R2-D2 very well. Murmuration, Suzanne, yeah. So card number 2, if it resonated with you, the starling is here to bring the message of restructure. Theatrics can be carried onto our path at times of great purpose to disrupt our focus. We have the power of how to respond. Breathe deeply and settle your thoughts before taking action on a specific project or situation. This could be the disruption needed to redirect your energy. Ask your heart for the most beneficial path. Listen for a clear answer within the next few days. So I have 2 ways to approach this. The first one that came to mind is, are you wondering if you're not doing enough because there's a theatrical person, event in your life that is trying to take center stage? Look at me, I have emotions, you have to help me, right? Is there something that is so loud that is causing you to feel selfish for putting yourself first? Is there a person? Is there a news story? Is there an event in your local community? Is there something that is so theatrical, so dramatic, that's making you feel guilty for turning inward? So then you feel like you're not doing enough for this person because they're yelling really loud, right? Is that happening? Or are you being pulled away from what you really want to focus on, where you really want to put your attention, but there's an event that's pulling you, okay, well now I do need to go this way and I do want to put my attention over here. I realize that I'm not focusing on what I want to focus on. Could that be the distraction that you need? So that could be, if card number 2 resonated with you, that's what I would put yourself in. Think about what's taking my most attention right now, right? Outside of myself, what has my most attention? Where is my care going? First, identify that. Then wonder, is this distracting me from myself? Or did I have to pull myself away from another project to give my care, love, attention, and healing to this part? Was that necessary? Was I not on the right track on my first project in order to, like, I needed to be pulled away to something else? And I know I just gave you, I don't know, figure it out yourself, but here's some leading questions. When I'm in the middle of these things and I can't figure out, like, is this for me? My emotions feel like it's for me, but like, I don't know, I can't figure it out. That's when I turn to cards. That's why I learned how to read tarot, and that's why I have 30 tarot oracle decks. When I'm in the middle of a rock and a hard place and I can't figure out what is actually right for me, I'll pull some cards, and then that usually gives me some wisdom. Or just go watch the starlings dance. Just go find some murmuration. Nicole, starlings are smart, yeah. Carrie, restructure. Very good question, Jackie. Thank you for those questions. You're welcome, Carrie. Lisa says, I'm hearing card 2 a lot this year. In what way? In what way, Lisa? I think that's pretty cool. All right, card number 3, which I'm about to look at for the first time. Cool. What other wisdom? Oh, okay, here. So sorry, I didn't really bring the starling into the question. What wisdom have we gained from wondering, am I doing enough? Am I not doing enough? What's your intention? What is it that you are trying to fix? What problem are you trying to solve? Am I doing enough? Am I not doing enough to heal? What would happen if you restructured your attention? What would flourish and what would crumble? Could be another question to ask yourself. What would be the potential outcome if I took my attention away from where I think I'm doing too much? What would happen if I gave that attention to where I think I'm not doing enough? And then card number 3, the wisdom from this wondering, am I doing it right? The seagull is card number 2. And the seagull brings awakening. Take a few moments when waking up to set your intentions for the day. Upon awakening, give gratitude to a warm bed, beating heart, and clean water. Envision the day playing out ideally, but do not focus on details. Rather, more on a complete feeling of ease. You are the creator. Use your intention to direct the energy of this day. I love this. I love this. Personally, I told you guys that I was resonating with card number 3 because I didn't know what it was. I've been called lately to get back into my morning routine. In my past life, when I was living in my old house, I would start every day with journaling, gratitude, my wish list. Most of the things that I was asking for a year and a half ago are now here in my life, and I've just been feeling this call to start my day intentionally. So over the last 2 months, whatever has been pulling you in the direction of, am I doing enough? Am I not doing enough? Should I be doing more to heal? What I think that the seagull is telling us is to focus on this big overarching energy, the universe, the all, the divine, the great mystery, to lean into that energy and just intend, well, this is what I want to happen today, tomorrow, next year, 6 months from now, I don't know when. This is just what I desire. Oh, sorry, millions of words and energy in my face brain. Put it out there, because what you desire is humble. What you desire is for you. You desire it because it is needed. The drop has a desire because the ocean is craving it. There's things in your life that you just want. And it's okay to ask for those things. So by starting each day saying, this is what I intend for today, this is what I hope happens in my personal life, in the world around me, in my loved ones, in my enemies' lives, if you just tell the universe what it is that you're hoping for, one way or another, it's gonna happen. So be careful what you wish for. It's gonna happen. I can't tell you when and I can't tell you how. But if you're having this conundrum of, am I doing enough? Am I doing too much over here? Am I not doing enough here? I'm not saying that humans aren't powerful, but energetic work is exponentially more powerful. So if you don't know if you're doing enough or not, just remember that your physical human effort is this big. You're doing something, okay? Don't stop doing what you're doing, but you're doing this much. By telling the universe your desires and surrendering that they're gonna show up, you're doing, I can't even open my arms wide enough to show you how much you're doing in that realm. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I'm going to tell a quick story. I'll recap the reading, and then I'll blab about myself if you guys want to hang out for that. So, quick story. I went to, and it's about this seagull awakening, using your intention, using your desires. So I think it was about a month ago, I went to this retreat. It was 2 full days and a night. I would like come home in between, which was really nice. I liked that a little bit. But anyway, one of the things that I did there was called conscious connected breath work. I've never heard of it before. I just showed up to this retreat and I was like, yeah, sure, sign me up. Sounds great. And this conscious connected breath work, the way that it was facilitated in person when I did it, it was a group of us. We all had our own yoga mat. We laid on our backs, and she said, breathe in through your mouth and breathe out through your mouth. Big deep breaths. It was a semi-rapid pace. You know, I wasn't like huffing and puffing, but it was not relaxing. Let me put it that way. So we were doing this conscious connected breath work, and who would have thought that an hour of breathing would give me such amazing insights? I cried, I howled in pain, I laughed, I learned to love myself. It was like such this transformative experience in 1 hour of breathing. But there was a lot of like guidance. The facilitator had this playlist of music that clearly took us to different places. Like it triggered us to feel different emotions. She was on the mic coaching us through, like letting us know certain things and like giving us motivation and a little bit of guidance. It was super powerful. I tried doing one on Insight Timer and I did like it. If you find one on Insight Timer and you like it, maybe go find one in person. Anyway, through this, so we worked through the pain. We let the pain come up and be expressed and all this stuff. And then towards the end, she had us envision the dream life that we're reaching for. So I envisioned this dream life. And then I don't remember why it came, but there was also then this deep knowing that I and you, this applies to everybody. I'm just talking through me. I've known this for a long time, but it made sense that I am the answers to my ancestors' prayers. I have no right to feel guilt for wanting what I want in the world and in my own life, because there are things that decades, centuries ago could not be accomplished. They prayed, the universe dropped me here because I'm here, so are you, to fulfill the desires of what the ancestors wanted to see in the world, right? So we're here to do that. We're here to innovate. We're here to change things up. We're here to make new things and you know, break down walls and all this stuff. So I was asking them, how do I know? How do I know what you want? How do I know that I'm on the right path? This was the coolest thing. What I got was, Jackie, your desires are our messages. That's the only way that we know how to show you what direction we need you to go. So we're going to give you this feeling of wanting something. So yes, please go follow those desires. You want, these are some things right now that I want, guys, that I still feel guilty for wanting. I want to not have to show up anywhere ever on time. I want to find a life where I am 100% free to just do and share freely and teach when I feel like teaching and meet people when I feel like meeting them. There's this huge thing of guilt that I feel like, well, I'm not allowed, you know, people are expecting me. I have to tell people how and when to meet me, but that's a desire. So I'm working my way through my life to figure out how to make that happen. And along the way, while I'm on the path reaching that desire, I don't know how the hell I'm doing it, but I'm doing something real good for my ancestors. I'm helping bring some sort of energy to the world because I'm following what I desire. So this awakening card, the seagull card, are you doing enough? It's such, I'm learning this so deeply every single day. I'm learning it a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper, and I can't stop sharing it. The more you do for yourself, the more you do for everybody. The more you do for yourself, the more you love yourself, the more you put yourself first, the more you're doing for everybody. lead a horse to water, or what is it, like give a man a fish or teach a man to fish. If you're always thinking about what everybody else needs, you're just giving fish, give, which is not wrong. It's both and. But if you teach people how to fish, and sometimes teaching people is leading by example. Hence, Jackie disappeared from Insight Timer for 2 months. Hey guys, I gotta go focus on me. And what did that kind of force you guys to do with love? To focus on you. I'm not here. You guys can't listen to me. You gotta find something in yourself to help you through. You see how that works? So let's recap. Let's recap just quick because I want to read the comments and then I want to talk with you guys. So we started this reading asking the astrology oracle, what have we learned over the last 2 months of not being together? The Jupiter aspect card came out reversed, asking us, have you been escaping, or have you been going balls to the wall, or have you realized that when everybody is happy, you are happy? And it's both and. It's both and. Okay, so that was the first card, and then the Jupiter Chiron came out, and it was asking about utilizing your healing gifts. Are you sharing them freely? Are you fearful of your gifts? And then through discussion with the energies of those cards, we came to the question of, over the last 2 months, what kind of wisdom have we gained through wondering, am I doing enough with my healing gifts? Am I not doing enough? Is it too much? I don't know. Card number 1, the Crow, brought the energy of travel, which is telling you that the wisdom over the last 2 months might be found through some sort of travel. Physical travel, inviting a traveler to your house, to your space, or engaging in philosophical, educational travel, emotional travel, spiritual travel. So just if card number 1 resonated with you, go do something different that you've never done before, and that will help the wisdom make sense. Card number 2 was Starling, and this was talking about restructuring your life, and I completely forgot what the Starling card was about. I just need to jog my memory. Oh, what has your focus? What is the loudest force in your life that's not yourself? What outside of yourself is the loudest? And then you're here to ask yourself, is this thing distracting me from myself? Or is this next big thing distracting me from something that I was giving my energy to that wasn't really for me? See, it all comes back to you. It all comes back to you. And then card number 3 was the energy from Seagull, who reminded us about the energy of awakening. And that's literally taking the start of your day to intend what you desire for the day. So the wisdom that you have wondered for the last 2 months, am I doing enough, or am I not, or am I doing too much? Maybe taught you what you truly desire for yourself. So now it's time to start asking for it. It's time to start asking for it. Because that's it for the oracle reading. If you came here just for the reading, see ya. It's so cool. It's so cool. This has been my journey, my learning in life, is the more I learn how to get what I want, it makes me so excited to figure out how powerful I am. And all I want to do is share with everybody who wants to listen. Hey guys, I did this. You can do it too. Like, do it. Look at what I've done. You could do it too. Learn how to do it. This is how I did it, my way. My way might work for you, but maybe you could do it your way too. I think I can hear myself. I can hear this little voice in me trying to like tell you guys it's okay to make yourself happy. I feel like that's there's such the big opposite message in our society these days. I guess maybe always, and it's just in my awareness more now. I don't know. But You got to look out for everybody else. You got to send your love and money and attention overseas where they have things much worse than you do. And there's people who are being hurt right now by certain things and parties and people. So you got to care for them. You got to look out for them. And while I'm not saying that you are supposed to like, sucks for you, you know, there's a difference. There's a fine line between putting all of your energy into everybody else and hoping the worst for people. Like there's a middle ground. And I think that's what I'm trying to teach the world to get to, is this middle ground. It doesn't have to be all of your attention taking up all of your brain space on other people. And it also doesn't have to be wishing bad for people. There is a middle ground. It's called peace. It's called contentment. It's called acceptance. It's called knowing that everything always works out for everybody. And you can build that trust that everything always works out for everybody by focusing on yourself and learning, oh wow, I've healed. Look at what has happened magical in my life because I took time to focus on myself. So now I get it. I get it that everybody else can heal themselves. And I'm going to choose to empower other people instead of enabling them to lean on support. That's my message for today. Let me see what you guys were talking about. 14 minutes ago, Andrea said, rehabilitate my injury, start working, ignore the ex who is trying to remove my friends from my life. Let them try. What is meant to be will be. Carrie, whatever I said totally resonated with you with the tears in your eyes emoji. I'm glad. Whatever that was, I'm glad. Andrea, I'm progressing with physio qigong and pool training, painting and poetry. I love that. I love that. I have something to say about the worst times in your life, and I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna read these comments and then I'll talk about that for a second. Becky, can you please remind me where your intention visualization can be found? Ooh, are you talking about the I am? The I am ritual, I think is what I called it. That's for sale on my Patreon. So you can search my name on Patreon. I think it's also in my link tree. If you guys want to see what I'm up to, or if you want to see donation links that are separate from Insight Timer, my link tree is in my Insight Timer profile. Or if you're watching on YouTube, it's in the show notes, in the description. But yeah, my Patreon should still be there. And I created, over a year ago, I created this I am ritual. It's borrowed from something I learned from Mami Onami. And it's a way to visualize this new life that you want for yourself. And then you create daily habits that are realistic for you so that you can actually do something to bring this dream reality to your current reality. And yeah, that's one of those things I haven't visited in quite some time. If you're interested in that, yeah, it's only $8. It's like dirt cheap. Everyone should do it because it's great and it's a fun practice, and why not? And then you get to support me. And before you do it, I will let you know that I go off on a little bit of a side tangent about the human design. And the only thing that I recommend, if you have no idea what the human design is and it's not interesting to you, just stop listening when I start talking about it. However, if you are a detail person and you want to follow everything, all I want you to look at your human design beforehand is, do you have an emotional authority or something different? Half the population has an emotional authority. If that is yours, no matter where you look up your human design, you're going to see the word authority, and then you'll see emotional or solar plexus. It's the same. If it says anything else, then that part doesn't apply to you. I give a breakdown if you're emotional or not, because it's pretty much split 50-50 in the population. So yes, that's a cool thing. It's called the I Am Ritual. It's available on my Patreon, which you could just search my name, Patreon. I use my name for everything I do. Okay, breathwork is powerful. Yes, yes, yes. Carrie, that's kind of what I'm going through, trying to balance out the responsibilities. and the wants. I'm such a rebel when it comes to being responsible, and this could be just the lesson that I'm learning, and maybe it's my ego that's going to cause harm to people. But I have this, okay, first off, in my natal chart, South Node Cancer, North Node Capricorn. So I know this about myself. I am all about the mushy feelings, caring for people, nurturing people. I'm here on this earth incarnation this time to learn, Capricorn, how to get my shit together, how to build the structures, how to have the plan, how to be the father of my own life and all this structure. However, Carrie just said that she's working through balancing out the responsibilities and the wants. Let me tell you guys, I've gone through Mami Onami's 40-day ritual. She's a generator, married to a generator. And what she talks about is you just put in the hard work, you get the results. It's that easy. And that's really enticing to me because I see it, right? I see it. You put in the hard work, you get the results. Cool. Hi, I'm also a manifester. And like, when I want to do the hard work, it comes. You know, I can sit in my computer for 13 hours without eating and peeing maybe once, and I'm in this flow and it's like, yes, I could do this. But I'm not here to show up like that every single day. And Carrie, as a projector, you're also not here to show up like that every single day. So this whole notion of responsibilities in the world, I could be playing the victim here, right? I don't know what I'm doing, but this is what I'm feeling, so this is what I'm teaching. I feel like we were trained by generator energy, which is 70% of the population, right? You can't fault them. They're the majority. That's what the majority of society, majority rules, right? Look at our stupid political system. Oh, 51%, you win. 49%, everyone else, F you. But we're in this generator society. So responsibilities and wants, if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. And if it's not meant for me, then it's not going to show up, and that's fine. But I'm here to focus on my daily joy, because what do I have is right now, this moment. So I'm going to focus on what feels the best for me right now, and whatever responsibilities I have, whatever obligations I have, they're going to work themselves out. I'm going to be attracted to responsibilities and obligations that feel good for me, because those are the ones that are going to work for me. So balancing all that out. Yeah, thank you. Suzanne, been feeling my ancestors a lot lately in my dreams, in meditation, a very supportive feeling. That's awesome. That's awesome. Lisa says, great to have you back. Thank you. Thank you, Jacqueline, for your donation. I very much appreciate it. Jen, your nodes are opposite of mine. So yeah, it's, you know, you got the structure down, and now it's learning how to care for yourself. Carrie, exactly. I want to play, not go shovel snow. Yeah, whatever. I want to share something with you guys because of what Andrea was talking about, rehabilitating and then ignoring the ex, brought it up. So, long story short, I do want to be out of here in a few minutes. I'm going to end on this story, and then I don't know when I'm coming back. I'm thinking 2 weeks from now. I don't know what's coming ahead of time, but if you want to, I'm just going to do this little spiel now. If you've enjoyed today's session, if you would like to send an energy exchange, you can donate on Insight Timer. There's also links in my link tree. If you want to know what I'm doing, because I'm a manifester and I'm always up to a million things, hop on my email list. The link is in my link tree. Everything I talk about is in my link tree. I share all this stuff on YouTube, so follow my YouTube, hop on my socials. All the links are in the link tree. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And I also recently started a Substack, which I'm having a lot of fun with. I don't know the platform at all. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just using it as a journal, and then you guys get to read it also. Yeah, so that's it. That's what I'm doing. That's where you can follow my journey. Some of the things that I've talked about here today were triggered by my Substack posts. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I just post like once or twice a week. Anyway, the hardest things in my life have brought the most growth. And this is a hands down, I can't negate it. And this was resurfaced yesterday. I just realized that I'm going through another one. So I've made you, I don't even know why I said that. I was trying to read a comment and speak at the same time. I've told you guys so much about how losing my father in 2015, that's kind of what like sparked me into this whole spiritual realm. There was a lot of unhealed emotions between us. There was a lot of guilt because I cut him out of my life and then he died on me, and it was like, why'd you have to do that, Dad? But through healing, through looking at that, not running away from it, not trying to hide and run from the emotions, by turning around and looking at that whole situation, I became so self-aware. I learned how to process so many emotions. I learned how to take the hardships of life and actually grow from them. And like, that's what triggered me being this way. And I've held on to that a lot to like point back to, that's my Jackie origin story. This is where it all started. Just this past Saturday was the first time that I was in person with my husband since I left him in July, August. We had been slightly talking through text months ago, and then unbeknownst to me, he blocked my number so he could heal and all this stuff, but like there's like tax stuff that we got to figure out, and I could tell he wasn't responding, so I was like, I just gotta go show up. So I showed up at the house on Saturday, and whatever, the whole conversation turned out to be a lot more friendly and tearful than I thought it would be. It was actually pretty healing. It went a lot more smoothly and less argumentative than I was thinking it would. But that's not the point of the story. But that definitely being there with him for the first time in 6 months triggered a lot of feelings. And so the next morning, I was just like doing my little morning routine. I was making coffee and whatever, and it hit me that like, oh my God, I just went through another one of those, the worst times of your life makes you the best version of yourself. And this is another one of those things that like I've known for quite some time, but it was so apparent to me that the relationship with him, I was with him for 7 years. The first 2 or 3 were great. It was very on par with who Jackie was at that time. He was filling the needs of that version of Jackie. And then 2020 hit, and I started waking up to a different approach to life. I started looking at my emotions in a different way. I started expanding in certain ways, and he couldn't keep up because it's not meant for him right now. He's not meant to grow in that way right now. So I was growing and expanding, and I was watching this relationship get worse and worse and worse. And I am a person of big love. Big love. I want the best for everybody all the time, and I'm learning how to want the best for myself. So this whole persona that I have now is a direct result from me trying to help him through my transformation. So it's so convoluted, and it makes so much sense to me. I became the best version of myself because I was trying so hard to make our life what I wished it would have been. And because there was all that love going through everybody, like I got the benefit. I am now this like wise person who can work through adversity, who can look at the hard things and realize that there's growth coming on the other side. Didn't think I was gonna get emotional. Actually, I did. I just didn't want to admit it. But through all of that pain, through all of the arguments, through all of the days that I didn't feel heard, I didn't feel respected, what did I do is I turned into myself. I didn't like expect him to change to make me happy. I said, okay, what can I do to make this make sense? What can I do to save what I've got going on here? And in the end, it didn't, it wasn't meant to be, and that's great. I'm fine with that. But it was such a moment of appreciating how much I focused on myself in response to like, oh shit, my relationship isn't working. So if you are going through something that sucks, if you're rehabbing, if you're going through a breakup, if you've lost your job, if you've lost a loved one in your life, like whatever it is that sucks, what can I do to make this better? And it's not always fun to put yourself through it, but holy shit, have I become such an amazing person because I focused on myself. And now I get to share all this wisdom with you guys and try to inspire all you guys to grow and focus on yourself, because it's okay to focus on yourself. So that's what I wanted to share about all of this. It hit me really hard the other day, and I thought it was a really cool realization that I'm just like so grateful for all the shit that I put up with. So I want you guys to be able to feel the same. Chantel says, exactly the same as me, Jackie. My dad was in and out of my life, then I cut him out of my life. He passed away in October last year. I chose not to visit him in the hospital or go to his funeral. A lot of people probably think it was selfish, but I had to think about myself. Yeah, you're fine. Everyone gets to make their choices for them. If other people don't understand why you're doing what you're doing, okay, it's not your life. This is my life. I'm ready to accept the consequences of my actions. I'm making this choice because I know what the potential consequences are. Yeah. It's all good. And now, like, I don't know about you, I went through that father healing after he was gone, and then it was me being like, oh shit, I messed up. I probably shouldn't have cut him out. But it was such a wonderful few years of working with all of that. Yeah. Lyra, thank you for your vulnerability. You're welcome. I have no shame. I'm pretty sure I said that earlier. F shame. Because we're all just humans. I actually have a Substack coming out about that. I can't remember when. When I write my Substacks, I just wait till I'm inspired and I write it, and then I look at my calendar and I just schedule it whenever the next one should come out. So like I have Substacks scheduled through the second week of March at this point. So I don't know when it's coming out, but I have this really cool insight that is about how what other people try to tell you about yourself. Oh, you are too much. You are crazy. Or you are a wonderful healer. You are so insightful. Whatever other people say about you is just how they would look at themselves in your shoes. And it's a whole post about permission to just live your life and make your choices for you. And that's what, I don't remember why I said that. But anyway, I should probably get going. I think I'll be back in 2 weeks. This whole replay, I've been streaming on YouTube Live, so it'll be available right away if you want to rewatch it, if you missed the beginning. I also have been enjoying clipping down just the oracle card readings. I take out like all of this fluff and I clip down just the oracle card readings, and I put them back on Insight Timer as audio tracks. And then I also will schedule them for months out on YouTube. So I actually had a reading post on Saturday, which I did, I don't know, months ago, and it was really nice. It was a really nice, like, accidental way for me to rewatch myself in this form and remember how much I really love having this soapbox. So that's it. So yeah, follow YouTube to see all my videos. Yeah, I'll be back. I don't know when, but follow my Insight Timer so you can see when. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you so much. And I'll see you when I see you. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Christine. Goodbye, YouTube people. Thanks for being here, whoever was here.